It's estate sale day. So the last few weeks I have been traveling with my husband a decent amount. We were up in New York City for a very long weekend. And before that, we were in DC for a night and stuff like that. Been very busy, have not really been doing any thrifting. On my way to New York City, I did stop at an estate sale briefly, and I had taken some video, hoping to do a video and show you guys, but honestly, it was so boring. There was so little in there. It was a fairly small house and it had clearly already been cleaned out. I think I heard the woman running the estate sale say that the family had already had like a huge yard sale and had gotten rid of mostly everything already. So honestly, I was surprised that they even decided to do an estate sale because there just wasn't much there. I got one thing. I got a cute vintage plaid like oversized jacket. I think it's a guy's jacket, but obviously it'll be a little oversized on me, that I need to get dry cleaned, but I'm terrible at getting things dry cleaned, so hopefully someday I do that. And then this week was pretty busy. We got back, we were pretty exhausted. Honestly, on Tuesday, I fell asleep on the couch midday. I was just so tired. And then the rest of the week, we've had some house stuff that we've been trying to get done. So I thought it would be fun to do something for me and do something fun. And so I took a little look online. I think there's a website, I'll link it below, that like tells you where all the estate sales are happening. So I just looked around on there and I saw that there are two that look pretty good that are not too far from me. But before we even do that, the church right up the street from where I live is having a little yard sale. So I thought it would be fun to stop in, see what they've got, take you guys along for all of the good stuff. I was originally actually planning on making today like a thrifting day, but when I saw those estate sales and I saw the yard sales, I was like, well, we're gonna do that. Anyway, let's get to the good part, right? Let's go thrifting and yard sailing. Okay, so I was actually surprised at how good that little yard sale was. So they didn't have a lot of house stuff, but they had some really great books, which were super cheap. They didn't like say like, oh, vintage books are more, which a lot of places do. They were all just like $5 for $1. And then they had a ton of clothes. I really couldn't get to them. So I'll show you really quick what I got that I won't be showing in my haul, because my haul is all my stuff, but I picked up a few things for family members because I knew they'd love it, especially books. We're all big book people in my family. So I'll show you what I got for them because I'm probably just going to drop it off today on my way around. So for my nieces and nephews, some of my nieces and nephews, they had a whole bunch of Far Side comic books, and I know my nieces and nephews love comic books right now. They're at that great age. They haven't read them yet, so I'm excited to be the one to get to like introduce them a little bit. And then for my mom, she's a big Trekkie and a big like sci-fi gal. So there were some Star Trek books, and I texted her and asked her if she reads those, and she said she did. So of course we couldn't say no to that. So for, less than 25 cents a book, you can't say no to that. And I got myself a ton of, like, quite a bit of books. Very excited about these books. And I got one shirt. I am actually really happy that I went to this because I forgot to take my allergy medicine this morning. I have really bad seasonal allergies. They've been absolutely terrible this year, but then on top of that, I'm also very sensitive to dust and mold, which is not conducive to being a thrifter and an estate sailor because they always get me. But I forgot to take it this morning, but I'm close enough to home that I'm just going to pop back, take it, and then I'm going to head to the estate sales. So, yeah. cow. Okay, you can tell things have gotten serious because the hair, it's up. So that estate sale was pretty crazy. That house was, whew, it was in rough shape, and I've been in a lot of houses in rough shape. Our house included was in very rough shape when we bought it. There was just stuff everywhere and just so much stuff. I would say that the estate sale I went to last time that I have shared a video about was still better. I mean, I think there's no way to beat that one. It just was so good. And this was the same team that did that other estate sale also was running this one, so they have pretty good pricing. So I did get some stuff, but we've still got one other estate sale, but we are going to stop and get some lunch, definitely get some coffee, and recharge for the next one. So I definitely did not spend nearly as much time at that estate sale as the first one. I just think the pricing was really not great. It was almost like antique store prices, which to me, estate sales, I'm expecting more like yard sale prices because like you've got like 2 days to sell everything and that's it. So marking everything up at like estate sale prices feels a little bit steep to me. Like even the mugs, there was like tons and tons and tons of mugs. And they were all like $3 each, like $3 for a mug. Like I can go to the thrift store and get a mug for 50 cents. Probably the same mug, honestly. Some of them were cuter, but in general, they're just kind of basic. I actually had picked up one thing that didn't have a tag on it and was originally going to ask them how much it was. But after walking around for a while and seeing just all of the prices, I was like, I'm not even gonna ask because they clearly are just like overpricing this stuff. It's really interesting because there was like nobody there. The people were just kind of sitting around. Whereas the other sale, that first one with the other company, there was tons of people there. And people leaving with like bags full of stuff. So they were clearly selling through, whereas there was nobody here, like crickets. So I think we're gonna call it a day because it looks like the other sales are winding down or closing. It's almost 1 o'clock and a lot of them are just in the morning. So we're gonna head back home and then I'm going to clean everything really, really good. And then we can do a little haul. Hello friends. So I will start with the stuff that I don't actually have with me. I had bought it for family members and so I've already delivered it. It is already at its new home, but I do have some video of it after I cleaned it. So I got my mom and my one sister this set of ceramic Village House cookie jar, sugar, and creamer. They were really adorable. They only wanted $10 for the whole set, so I couldn't say no, and my mom and my sister really loved them. So my mom took the cookie jar, my sister took the creamer and sugar. They were super adorable, and for $10 for all three of them, you can't pass that up. That house also had a weirdly large amount of rolling pins. tons of rolling pins, all different kinds of rolling pins. They even had one that was, I mean, massive, huge. I definitely got some video of it because it was crazy. But I ended up finding a teeny tiny little one, and I just thought it was too perfect for my little niece. So I grabbed it for her, and she was really excited about it. So we got that. I think that was $1. Maybe we'll start with a book haul. So I'm trying to remember which books came from where, because 2 of them came from the estate sale and the rest came from the yard sale. Okay, I think I know which ones are which. So I know for sure that I definitely got this copy of Pride and Prejudice from the estate sale. I cannot pass up a copy of Pride and Prejudice. I think I've mentioned that before. Really, any Austen. So this copy is in really great shape, I thought, and it is from 1940. Really just a lovely copy of it. Like I said, I can never pass it up. I probably have 4 copies of Pride and Prejudice at least. Most of them are vintage. Most of them I paid $1 or $2 for. So, I mean, it's a low stakes collection when you're only spending $1 or $2. But this one was $2. And this is the other one I got at that estate sale. So this was also $2. This is The House of the Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne, which I actually have not read this yet. It's been on my list to read. I'm not sure if I'll read this edition though, because it is older and I'm always very careful about how I handle good copies of older books. So it's possible that I might actually just get the ebook from my library and read it on my phone so that I don't disturb this one too much. It's just so lovely, I couldn't pass it up. So excited about that. So the rest of these are from the yard sale, and the yard sale was the deal of the century when it came to books. It was 5 for $1. So I bought all of my books, all of the books for my family, and a t-shirt. Spent $2.25. You can't beat that. That's crazy. So starting off, I got Sherlock Holmes and the Case of the Hound of the Baskervilles, which this is one of the few Sherlock Holmes I have not read yet. And funny enough, my mom actually just gave me a Wordsworth edition of this book for my birthday, but it is a lovely collector's edition. So I'm definitely going to read this copy, that way I can keep the other copy looking good. But I also really love this one. Has some really cute illustrations in it, which I just think is so adorable. I also just really love the size. It's so petite. Anyway, just adorable. Couldn't get over how cute it was. I also got Love Poems of Shakespeare. I'm not a poetry person, to be honest with you. I wish I was. But I've always liked Shakespeare's. I just thought it was cute, and it's a nice little copy of it, so I grabbed that. I also got, as I say that I'm not that into poetry, I also got Tennyson's poems, but this is just such a beautiful copy that I decided to grab it, and like I said, it was 5 for $1, so what a deal. Maybe this is my year of poetry. Who knows? And this one's also just another lovely copy that I thought would be pretty to style with at the very least. I do need to there's some like library stickers on it, so I need to carefully remove those. But it is Victorian Prose Masters. So just a lovely little book. And lastly was this copy of Jane Eyre. This is another one that I have several copies of already. I think I have at least 2 other copies of Jane Eyre. It's not a super old edition. I think it's from 1984. I thought it was a really lovely copy. And this one has a couple lovely little illustrations in it too. So I like seeing all of the different versions of books that are out there. I just think it's so cool. So anyway, that's the last of the books. Next, I'll start with something little, which is just this little pumpkin coffee cup. Obviously right now it's spring, so it seems a little silly to buy fall stuff, but I love the fall, as a lot of us do. And I really love fall coffee mugs for some reason. This past fall, I definitely went maybe a little bit overboard collecting vintage Halloween coffee mugs, and I just think they're so cute and so fun, and I just saw this and couldn't say no. So I think this was $1. And this is the shirt that I got at the yard sale. I just thought it was cute. This was 25 cents. Okay, so the last 3 things I bought as a bundle at the estate sale. So a lot of times if you have sort of a collection of things, they'll just give you a bundle price for them. So for instance, 2 of the items that I already had, they had given me a price of $7 for, and then I threw in one more thing and I said, hey, can I just do $10 for everything? And they said, yeah, totally. So the last 3 things cost $10 together. So they come out to be $3-ish bucks each, right? Starting off with this cutting board. It was a cute size. It's not vintage or anything like that. It's actually, it says Paula Deen on it, but I just thought it was a nice size, and you can always use more cutting boards. I especially love cutting boards for styling in the kitchen as well as obviously cutting with. But yeah, I just thought it was a nice basic, always good to have. And then I grabbed this ceramic jug. I just thought it was such a lovely color. Do I need another one? Probably not. Originally, they had said it was $5, but when I, asked if I could just bundle it all together, they said yes, so it ended up being like $3, and it's quite big, as you can see. I just think it's really lovely, so I'm excited about that. The best for last. This little copper tea kettle was sitting out on a porch, and it was definitely looking quite dirty. So last night I tried scrubbing it with lemon and salt, which did get quite a bit off. It did clean it up quite a bit. However, it was still looking a little bit rough this morning, so I went over it with some Brasso, and so it really came out quite nice, in my opinion. It still has some patina to it. It's not perfect, but honestly, I don't want it to be perfect. I like it with a little bit of patina, but I'm really excited. I think this will look really lovely just leaving it set out on my stove. Obviously, I'm also going to use it too. I think especially during the fall, it would be lovely to actually make tea in it. My kitchen is a lot of white, which I love, but at the same time, part of the reason I did that was so that I could add some pops of color and stuff like that. Copper is one of my favorite ways to add pops of color. I think it's still like a neutral, but it still adds some interest to the space. So I'm so smitten, very excited about it. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I have really enjoyed doing estate sales this summer so far, if you can't already tell. And I think that's definitely going to be something that I continue to do this summer. It's just like one of those fun Saturday things to like hit some yard sales, hit some estate sales. So if you enjoy estate sales and thrifting and house renovations and some DIYs, then feel free to follow along and subscribe. And if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you'd give it a like. And thank you again for watching. It really means so much to me, and I hope you have a lovely day.